Hello, 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 and welcome to a very impromptu episode of the Ask the Accountant Watch Series. Now, the idea of the Watch Series was that we can go live and talk about any type of topic we want. It's been heavily MTD focused at the moment, but that's just the start of what the Watch Series is. And he's going to go for it. And I would say that I'm your host, but I'm not. This is Johann's baby. This one. It was your idea, wasn't it? I'm just here to facilitate. And you're the master. I'm the apprentice in this scenario. That's how we're going to do it. I'm the agent.
Some might have said that for the last few years. We've asked the accountant, but I'm not to judge.
We're joint co-hosts on that one.
We're joint liabilities. I mean, I've been wanting to do this for a while. We've been speaking about it for a while, and this week's kind of news has spurred us on. So this is the Watch Series, but Watch Series AI with our trendy new logo in the top corner.
More on that in a bit.
They're not going to be happy about this. For our viewers and listeners, Lizzie did not create the Ask the Accountant Watch Series AI logo. ChatGPT did. So it'll be a good idea, poorly executed standard from Lizzie, where she'll take what we've come up with and refine it and master it and deliver exceptional work as per always. But we're recording on a Saturday afternoon, so it's not fair to get Lizzie to work on a Saturday just because you and I want to start this off now. I mean, we talk a lot about AI in our weekly live sessions, and occasionally we're moaned at for that because we talk too much about AI, but I think we have to accept it. Like it or not, it is the future of our workplaces.
100%.
And this week, I think it's just become a huge step forwards towards that end destination. There's been technology like what we're going to speak about this week in this episode around for 6 or 12 months. I'm thinking Perplexity's a Comet and a few others, but I think we were all really waiting for the one that's been announced this week. So and we've had a play and we're all very excited. What's been announced?
Do you want to go through the announcement itself? Because it was another one of these just boom, mic drop moment.
Yeah. It was
like the first time because you were on a tube or something, weren't you? You weren't actually there watching.
I was on the world's longest tube. I didn't know the tube could take an hour. End to end, it can take an hour. I thought the tube was quite small. I was on the tube when this started being announced, and there was no pre-warning of this. I hadn't heard anything in the media. Normally, like, people start talking about, well, the people we listen to on YouTube certainly do. They're saying something's coming. ChatGPT, whoever, at Google, they're about to announce something. We think it's going to be this. None of that. ChatGPT, who have made an announcement, had kept this very quiet. There's been speculation for a year that this is coming.
Yeah.
But again, they kept it very quiet. Suddenly, they're doing a live session on YouTube where they announce what they've announced. And as per usual with ChatGPT, they go, "Oh, this is available now." So I'm trying to get the live to stream on my phone in the tube. And then I'm rushing to the hotel, not to have dinner because it's late or anything. I'm just rushing to the hotel so I can get my MacBook out and install it and get on with it and have a play. I was working on this quite late on the Tuesday night that this got announced. So because you didn't know about you. Did you messaged me? You saw a notification on YouTube and went, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, I just had YouTube up in the background and it just came up. Oh, OpenAI's live, and I'm like, okay. Clicked on the button and there it was, talking about the product we're about to talk about. And I think they kind of made that expectation now, and it'd be really interesting to see if they just continue this. But yes, it was a mic drop moment that they were like, it's live now, but at the same time, I was expecting that. Do you know what I mean? I was like, so it's like it's their thing now, and they're going to run with it, and we love them for it. But yeah, Mikey, like the day they don't do that, the day they don't release that, I think there's going to, that's going to be the problem thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I like you, I installed it straight away, got playing with it, and I don't know if you caught it, but we did a little live stream on.
I saw you doing a little live stream, yeah.
Yeah, just to kind of show it off and everything else, and just first thoughts and everything else. But yeah, I mean,
there's not many channels where you just drop everything you're doing when a notification goes through saying they're live.
That's
you
it.
Go, what?
That's it. Yeah,
everything stops.
Exactly right. I mean, we kind of say we're speculating it. I didn't know browser was their next step. I thought desktop was their next step.
I knew browser was coming at some point. There was lots of talk about browser, but no one had any idea about ETA's functionality, etc. Were they going to try a plugin into Chrome or something first and then their own browser? No one knew.
Would Chrome work? Because Chrome would probably go Gemini first, because Gemini's in the works, isn't it, for a browser? It's like a browser version of what we're about to look at. So
yeah, potentially, but I mean, they own. I mean, technically, it is a Chrome product.
Oh, is it based on the Chromium platform?
Yeah, it's a Chromium platform.
Oh, that's why it so seamlessly works.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so's Firefox, so's Microsoft Edge. And I mean, Microsoft have made a dog's dinner out of that. So it can go one or two ways. I suppose it's like an Android phone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Samsung nail as best as they can the Android experience. Other softwares make more of a hash of it and actually probably do more damage to Android than they do good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Chrome browsers are to a certain standard, and you can either damage them or make them better. And I'm pleased to say, so far they've made this better overall.
Yeah.
So on Tuesday, just gone, ChatGPT, OpenAI, as the company is called, went live and announced Atlas. Yes, Atlas as in the map, the book you look up where the countries are, which is their browser-based AI or AI-powered browser, basically. So think Firefox, you're thinking Edge, you're thinking Chrome, you're thinking Safari, built by OpenAI. So, as we've already said, it's a Chromium platform, which most are. I think Safari is the only one that isn't anymore. Of any relevance, shall we say. And what they've done at OpenAI is they've taken the Chromium platform and they've put their own UI on it, so user interface and aesthetics. They've supercharged it with ChatGPT, and overall, they've delivered a hell of a version 1 product.
Yeah.
If we're honest, like even just things like, so StreamYard, which is what we're recording this on, can be extraordinarily sensitive about what browsers you can and can't use. I'm using Atlas right now. No issues at all. Like, whereas if I tried this on Safari, it just won't work. It has to be
it got updated like 2 weeks ago, but yes, yeah.
Oh, it does now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Too late. Safari's things that but just from a browser point of view, before we talk into the AI side of things, because that's going to be very cool. Let's talk browser, because everything you and I do, even more so you than me, because I use TaxCalc, which is software linked to the cloud. Everything you do is browser based. Okay. So yes, bells and whistles and AI is all very exciting. But if the platform, if the browser it's all based on is a bit pants, like Microsoft Edge, for example, what's the point? Like, it's too damaging. But I don't know about you. I found the load times, the animation, it's so slick and seamless. It feels like it runs faster than Chrome itself.
Interesting.
I don't quite get how they've done that.
No, apart from the fact they've probably got less bloat in it, right? Like they've been able to build it without having to have legacy and all that, because that's what normally slows down software, isn't it? It's legacy issues. It's we need it to make sure it runs on this toaster that was created in whatever, like it's normally that hold it back. I would say, like, full disclosure, I am using Atlas every single day without fail, but it's not my main browser.
Okay.
And
I think all or nothing. If you're not going to do it, you don't bother.
Yeah. And I get why you've jumped over. I don't know. It was just, there was certain things like password management and code management. I know it's getting better every single day, and I know, like, it's already 100% better than it was when it, like, launched on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
But I'm still at that point where, I just don't want that friction to go through. That being said, what I've used of it and how I've used it, absolutely impressed with it. Maybe a little bit sick and tired of it asking me, does it want me to be this default? You won't have this issue, but it wants it to be set to its default browser every opportunity. It's like, wait,
I said yes straight away.
if you're going to use me, you're going to use me as your default. You're not using me as all.
I will be your number one choice.
Yeah. I mean, there's some limitations. Do you want to go through the limitations you found? And I'll
So the first limitation that everyone needs to know about is, if you're a Windows user or an Android user, this isn't available for you yet. It's coming.
Or iOS.
It is only, pardon?
Or iOS.
Or iOS, yes. So it is only available on Macs at this moment in time. So Mac OS. So Apple's laptops and computer software. It's coming for iOS, it's coming for Android, and it's coming for Windows.
Did they mention Linux? Does that come up in conversation?
Have they mentioned what, sorry?
Linux.
I've not heard Linux come up anywhere. Yeah, so it's coming for everyone else, but I wonder, there's got to be a reason, right? They've gone for Mac OS first. And I do wonder how many Windows laptops might melt down and catch fire trying to power this, because it's AI based, right? You need that neural chips in your devices to power this efficiently and powerfully. So I do think that's why they've gone Mac OS first, because the vast majority of people that are using Mac devices are on M1 or higher.
Yeah.
And M1 chips and higher. I mean, the M5, it's as if the M5 was just built and launched specifically for this announcement, right?
Yeah.
And GPT are going to have pissed off some of their investors by doing it Mac OS only first. 100%. Because Microsoft's one of their biggest backers.
Yeah.
So they've not done it lightheartedly.
I mean, there are some Windows devices that are Copilot Plus, they call them, which is their equivalent, that they've got the neuro bandwidth to be able to handle AI complexities. I've got one. I've got the Microsoft Surface Pro, which I've had a love-hate relationship with. There are ones there, but they're few and far between, aren't they? And I think you're right, especially laptops. Laptops are designed not to have the graphics card in. It's normally that graphical card area that you can kind of use to kind of lighten the load, sort of thing. So yeah, maybe that's it. And if that's the case, how are they going to solve that? That's not a unless they put on it, right?
You know, like I said earlier, like one of the things I was really blown away by is the slickness, the instantness of loading of pages and stuff. I don't see that being delivered on older devices.
Or do they just restrict it to, if it doesn't have this performance, you just can't install it? Like
a PC game back in the day, like minimum requirements are X amount of RAM, X amount of hard space, X amount of graphics, blah blah blah.
Or Theme Hospital just doesn't work. So
Got it.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think that's got to be the way around, right? Like, yeah.
Which then brings me on to thinking that actually I think we'll see iOS get this first rather than Android, because I think that all the new Apple chips, like the iPad's now got an M5 in it, the M4 will handle it no problems. The new Apple iPhones for the last 2 or 3 years can handle it really well. The A16, A17, A18, A19 chips. Not convinced all the Android phones will handle it that well. I think things like Samsung, they'll have no issues with it.
Well, the newer ones, right? But they've
Snapdragons.
Yeah.
Anyone that's using the latest Snapdragon chips will be absolutely fine, I think. But there's lots of people out there that have got older phones that are Android, and they may struggle to use this. So it's going to be interesting to see what they release and when for this. So yeah, I mean, there's a few niggles, but as you said earlier, there seems to be a new update every single time we come to use it.
Yeah.
One of my biggest bugbears is, so I've got this, I've got my Mac Mini powering this setup here. I've got my Mac Pro over there, which powers the desk. I've got a MacBook Air, which I take away when I'm away and out and about, right? And I've had to log in and set it up on here. I've had to log in and set it up on there. I had to log in and set it up on the MacBook Air because I was away at the time. And I just instantly assumed, well, I've already done it on my MacBook Air with the same account, so I'll just log in and it will all be there. The preference is the same, everything. It treats every single one as an isolation. Like, it's got a really cool little graphical thing, hasn't it? Where it says, this is how many days you've been using ChatGPT, and this is how many days you've been using the browser.
Yeah.
So I've got this browser on 1 minute. I've got that one on 48 hours, and I've got the MacBook Air on like 96 hours. But they've all been using the ChatGPT for 800 something days. I was like, hang on, it's not the end of the world, but there's a little bit of marrying up that they need to do. And I don't know how deep that issue goes at the moment. I think we'll discuss that more in the features.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying. It's not the end of the world, but at the end of the day, it's targeted at the moment to early adopters and power use and everything else. And realistically, we have multiple devices. I generally, behind me, that iMac that's sat there is a AI agent only machine. That's all it'll ever do. It's locked down, and that's what that was the first thing I installed Atlas on for the agent stuff that we'll talk about in a bit. And that's first, and I'm comfortable with it just kind of sat there putting everything on and all that sort of stuff. Like, that's what I'm always on multiple machines, and the fact that it doesn't seamlessly go there, which I'm so used to with my other browsers, that's where the only limitation I've kind of forgot where it is.
Yeah, I get that. Before we go into features, though, let's talk costs and restrictions. So we've already said it's Mac OS only, right? The rest is coming. It's free of charge. Anyone can download this, and the functionality is based on what you're paying for with ChatGPT. So it's free to everyone who has a ChatGPT account, whether it's a free account or more. It has an agent mode, which is only available for Teams Pro and Plus businesses and Plus.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want the things like agent mode, if you get agent mode today in your paid for account, you'll get it in this browser. If you don't, then you don't get all the functionality. So it's really another way to encourage people to subscribe. But I'm also sat there thinking, if I'm putting everything through this browser and it's seeing everything, if you think back to, was it start of this year, Microsoft had an issue with they had to turn off recall, Copilot recall.
Yeah.
Like, basically, Microsoft was screenshotting and recording and capturing information constantly. This Atlas app doesn't seem to do that. It knows your history, and it goes through all the different links, and it revisits those links to see what you're looking at when you ask a question. But even so, security is going to be top priority here. So if you're not on a Teams, a Plus, or a Pro plan, I wouldn't use this browser. I wouldn't use it for free on a free plan, just because I don't think it's got the security there. Like ChatGPT and OpenAI, they are more security conscious than the majority. Like, I can't get any straight answers out of Gemini's security. No one can give me a straight answer as to at what levels in business and personal is secure to use. Yeah. So I'm not even risking it. Like, I pay for myself and anyone in my team that want access to ChatGPT to be on the Teams level, because I know it categorically states GDPR, SOCA, like all the stuff you want, all those badges you want are there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I'd feel comfortable using this all day, every day on all my devices without that security from the paid package. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I completely agree. And in fairness, I think Microsoft Copilot's the same if you're in the Teams plan, right? But again, well, it's not Teams plan, is it? It's a corporate plan, I think they call it, but whatever their equivalent of being in an organization mode, then yeah, you are safe. But just a shame that Copilot's not nowhere near as good. But anyway, yeah, no, I completely agree. I don't see the benefit also of using this without proper chat GPT. Like, I know you could use chat GPT plus on it, and that's fine. I think your safety issues aside, I think they're valid, but you put them to one bit. Even without that, what I don't know what you'd get from doing it without having a chat GPT subscription, which to me makes this actually, although it's a free product, I don't think it is a free product. I think you have to have that subscription with it to make it. And it's a really clever upsell, right? Like, yes, you download it. It's a freemium model, isn't it? You download it for free and you start playing with it. But I don't really know what you'll get out of this without paying for the subscription.
It's a huge value add.
100%. Yeah.
You've got to think there's probably a price increase coming along somewhere for this.
Yeah.
Because it's such a huge value add. So yeah, but yeah, no, I'm so far as a browser, I'm really impressed. There's a few bugs, like I click on create a new window and it just wipes all my windows and creates a new tab. And it's like, hang on a minute, where's the rest of that information gone? But there's constant updates. Like on day one of it launching on Tuesday, you were saying you couldn't get passwords to pull through. Now, what password app are you using? Is it Apple Passwords?
Yeah.
So that's now there. And what's interesting is you can't set it as the default. It just knows, oh, you're on a Mac, so we'll pull through the Apple Passwords thing. You can use your fingerprint, brilliant, or your Face ID, depending on what you're using it on. And then what it also then does is it saves the passwords into its own memory bank, so that it doesn't need to ask for that next time. What it can't do is two-factor authentication codes.
It can do the text ones, can't it?
It can do the text ones, and it likes to give you the option of a QR code. So you scan that with your camera, your phone Face IDs you to verify that you're the person that it thinks it is, and then it lets you in. But it doesn't. Those auto-generating ones that we get in all the other password apps, where it can pre-fill it for you, isn't there yet.
Have you come across one where iOS is doing that? The password app's doing it for you. The Apple password app is creating that, and it still can't get past that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't know to recommend the password app at that point. So it doesn't recommend a password app when you're putting in an email address. You have to remember, which email account do I use to log into this?
Yeah, I'm saying.
It then recommends, once you've got your cursor in the password box, oh, do you want to use Apple Passwords? It's like, well, yeah, I wanted to use it because I couldn't remember what bloody email it was. And then it goes to enter your two-factor authentication code, and it doesn't recommend the app anymore for that. So you have to dig in and copy and paste it.
Yeah. God,
pros and cons.
Back in the old days.
Yeah.
It makes you realise though how much easier we've had it lately with Safari and because really Chrome as well, right? Like that it only came this last update, Mac OS 26, but or what we're calling it now. But yeah, that came through from there. The only two failings I found, and maybe they've been fixed now because this was back on Tuesday. Microsoft, I can't get any of the Microsoft products to work whatsoever, which is again must be very upsetting for me. And it was interesting because in their video, they were all on the Google Chrome, all the Google Sheets and everything else, weren't they? They were using all those. So it might be fixed now, but on Tuesday it wasn't working whatsoever. It just kept like loading, and then when it and then the one I saw was someone had got it to work, but it was really buggy when it was inside. And then this must be working now because you've obviously got it to work. But the first day I was using it, I couldn't get it to choose what mic I was using, and I assume I couldn't choose webcam either.
No, that's all working now. It wasn't a slicker experience. It did go, oh, I can't find anything, and then it found it. It wasn't
Okay.
as instant as I'd expect from Safari or Chrome. Again, though, it worked. But I think the only reason I thought it didn't feel as slick is because we've got it so slick these days. Like,
Yeah.
part of the reason we'll probably never leave the Apple ecosystem is we know that whole, if I get a text message, it's automatically in the computer, AirDrop. It's all this slick, easy life stuff that is a huge barrier to moving to any other devices. So yeah.
The other benefit of them releasing it straight away is they're going to get all this feedback straight away, right? Like, because the annoying thing I had about the microphone issue was that it was randomly picking an iPhone. It wasn't even my main iPhone. It was the second iPhone I have for content. That was its microphone. So it does that little ding, and it says, "Oh, I'm using this microphone on a different device," sort of thing. That's like definitely that's in another room at the moment in time. I definitely don't want that to be the microphone that's being used. But I imagine that kind of they've solved that now. But that was kind of the early experience for me of the actual browser itself. Shall we talk about what it can do though extra? In fact, for audio listeners, we're going to bring it on screen, but we're going to talk about it as much as we possibly can. But yeah, you might be best at this point jump into the kind of YouTube video or however it's gone. But
Definitely.
In front of me now, Johann, is just the normal browser experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love the fact this isn't Google, and I'm even in my mind I am Googling without Googling.
Yeah. It's cleaner, isn't it? Which it sounds absolutely mental because Google succeeded over Ask Jeeves, Yahoo, and everything because it had a clean, simple interface.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. I feel this is cleaner. Yeah, and I'll be honest, when I first used this, I was a bit apprehensive because the web search in ChatGPT in the app is not a fantastic experience. It's not what we're used to. Whereas what you've just done there, right? And this is the part where it blew my mind. In the ChatGPT app, it can't obviously open what you're searching for. It just lists stuff and SEO, and it's still learning what we're looking for and stuff. Whereas you've just typed in BBC Sport. No search results, no ads, no ITV or Sky Sports trying to cut in. You knew what you wanted to see. It knew what you wanted to see. And how instant was that?
Exactly.
There's no whirly circles or anything like that. You went BBC Sport, enter, buff. Like, yeah. This is what I mean about the slickness of it. That it's just so clean.
Yeah, it completely is. And the fact, other than there was, again, I think they fixed it now, but there was quirkiness to video playing in here. There was kind of like, it was a bit stuttery and everything else, but I feel like that's all been mostly fixed now. It just works. And it's ChatGPT, right? So it's clever. So if I asked it a question, it will come back and try and answer the question like ChatGPT. I mean, we joked about it at the beginning, but this is basically the full version of ChatGPT in here. So I asked it, can you create me an ASCII Accountant Watch Series AI logo? And then said, oh, please use this for inspiration. And it generated the logo you see in front of you, right? Yes, Lizzie will do a better job than this later down the line. But this just shows that this is just ChatGPT as normal. And it's in there. I mean, at one point I was like, well, does this replace my my other desktop? I feel like it does. I don't know what
in the long run. I think.
Yeah, well, what else is that app doing now? The other app there that I'm looking at the screen and seeing at it. Yeah, I'm like, what's else?
Well, you've got projects in the other app, and they're there.
Yeah.
So there were new announcements this week. I don't know if they've come through to this yet, but like this week they launched Company Knowledge. Yes. So if you've got a Teams Pro or Business Plan, you can basically give it absolutely tons. You remember when back in the day when the internet was first, there was the internet, which was outside of the world, and then the intranet, which was your organization's little internet, and you might have a Wikipedia type place to go. most firms have used like SharePoint, Notion now to replace those databases with their own current information. Basically, the idea is you can feed it all your employer policies and business policies and handbooks and standard operating procedures into ChatGPT. New staff member comes in. How do I do this? This is how you do this in your firm.
Yep.
That's got to be cool, right?
Yeah.
That's huge. So I don't know if that functionality is in here yet. I've not seen it. I don't know if things like Sora are in here and the code-based analytics are in here.
What's this one called? The image generation one. So the image generation one's here. So it seems like it's the full ChatGPT experience, just with the added thing. So I think the audio side doesn't seem. I'm just looking now. Like I don't get my record button, or my just talk to it button down here. So maybe those sort of.
You don't get the conversation, do you?
No.
Yeah.
So other than that, though, I feel like most of it's there. I mean, I get access to my ones I've set up.
You got codecs and stuff there as well.
Yeah. Libraries there. All of those other bits there. So, I mean, if it does just replace that, there's even a new section that I've not really played with yet. But yeah, so that's there. So let's say though, let's go back to BBC Sport. Let's talk about what we can do here, and it's this cleverness at the top here. Oh, you can't see because I've got the thing in the way.
Terrible AI generated logo in the way.
This is
I only say that's keeping the good books with Lizzie.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, you will be. I won't be if I put it in the first place. But in the top right hand corner, there's Ask ChatGPT, and you click on here. Basically, you're getting context of that screen. I mean, what have you used without going into the agent mode yet? Because I think we'll talk about that separately. But what have you been using these bits for?
Okay, so what I really like about this is that it suggests things for you constantly. So you've just landed on the BBC Sport page. Have you got time to read through all the different articles and all the headlines and click into the ones you're interested in, or do you just go recap today? And it just gives you a high level summary that it's literally the news at 6. Here are today's headlines.
Yeah.
So I really like that. What was I looking at? I was looking at an event that's happening in Edinburgh in a couple of months, and I said, "Oh, add it to my diary."
Nice. And what
and
diary?
Because it's got access to my Outlook, it could do that.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, that was quite cool. Other things this is really good for when you're on YouTube and you've got a video, you can ask it to transcribe the video for you and summarize it.
Nice.
When you're reading a news article, you can ask it to summarize it. So, let's say there's a hugely long article, like a case study or a white paper or something you're looking at, and you're like, I ain't got time for this. Just tell it, I'm reading this because I need to know the following things. Can you please bear that in mind and summarize this document?
Yeah.
The thing is, right, this is just a week. It's not even a week in. Can you imagine this on your mobile phone or your tablet when you're out and about?
Yeah. I mean, I've been looking at it more from a work point of view, right? And some of the stuff you can do from a work point of view are immense. Like, I use HubSpot as my main point of call for any form of communication with a client, right? And I can literally click into a ticket that have been assigned to me, and maybe I need to do a response to this. I can just say, how would you respond?
Yeah. And that's something I've seen. So I don't use browser-based emails. I've got Outlook and I've got Fixer AI doing everything for me. But the fact that you can just do this. So if you're using Gmail or Outlook on your web browser and you've got an email in front of you, you can go create a response for this. The fact it just does it is just phenomenal, really.
Yeah. because I'll be completely transparent. Like, there's been a few times where it's just so much easier to get a chat GPT to start the response for me, and,
or you're spitting feathers with anger, and actually,
yeah,
I need to get ChatGPT to respond to this.
Tonal wise,
I haven't got time to walk away and come back to it tomorrow when I've calmed down. A, because I probably won't have calmed down when I reread it, and B, it needs an immediate response. So actually, ChatGPT. Although I don't know about your ChatGPT, mate, but mine's getting a bit of attitude.
It gets a bit sassy, is it?
I googled myself earlier on this browser, and I googled my firm, and it pointed out, here's the lowdown on the firm that you own. So it's obviously just a summary. It's like Google doesn't give me this sass. It also gives me 5,000 pages of rubbish after the top thing, but it certainly doesn't give me this sass.
Exactly. But what I do see, like, so powerful, because I've had to do it before. I've literally copied what was on here, dumped it in ChatGPT. I have a project set up for responses, and so it kind of knows my tone. It's kind of learned it all that sort of stuff. It's learned over time, and I'll just create a new chat there, dump it in there, come back to it in a couple of, do something else, come back to it, and then that's been my workflow for stuff like that. And it works fine and everything else, but it feels like ridiculous that this has been a pain point. But the pain point is having to copy and paste it, and then you forgot to copy like certain bits of it, or it's just not quite got it all.
Too much, including its final bit. Do you want me to look at doing this next?
Yeah, exactly. Where now it can read it, and what's clever is as well, it's reading stuff that's hidden, which I didn't understand how it was doing that at first. Like, I don't want to open it just in case there's client information there, but like, there's so much more to this ticket here that could be available, right? But it's able to go into there, and what it's really clever of, and another feature of it, is the history. So it's not just taking into account this page you're looking at, but it's taking into account maybe when you've responded to it in the past, or it's using your browser history within Atlas to form a solution for it. Like that. That means we've got the opportunity to set those base questions and base answers absolutely spot on, and then we're just reviewing these, right? Like we would do if we had to ask a team member to respond to it for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, this is very powerful, and it's really done a better job than you could do without clicking and opening and reading through everything. It's just done it.
Yeah. And that history idea, where a use case that I saw someone using, which blew my mind, was, well, I know 20% of what I did. I was on this page, and it was something about something, and something about and you can imagine for work related stuff, right? I had this page up, and it was telling me all about a P11D for this particular car or something, and I remember that it was a car that was black, for example. I don't know, whatever it is, you can remember tiny bits, but you can't remember what the model was or what anything. You're having a brain fog. This history, like, you try using the search functionality, it is amazing. It will go back through that history and go, oh yeah, you were talking about it on this date with this thing, and here's that page you were talking about. You then want to hear. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, that is so powerful.
Yeah, but there's a better one that's going to save us all our marriages at some point.
What's this?
So your wife says, oh, I've seen this, I'd really, I'd like that if a birthday present or Christmas. And you look at it at the time, don't you? And Google it. Then you get closer to the time and think, crap, what did she say I was looking for? And you just ask it the question, like, about 2 months ago, I was looking at something my wife mentioned she might like for Christmas. Can't quite remember what it was, come up with, and it goes, oh, it was this.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? And apparently, we were saying off air, when we've not. Well, I've heard it, but we've not been able to replicate it or try it itself. But their end goal with this search history is that you can ask it just to recall something. From a client's point of view, what was the turnover of that client? And if you've seen it in content, again, this is why the security is going to be so important. But if you've been to that client, in the past 30 days or whatever, and it will remember it for you, right? Like, instead of you having to go and grab that data to come back to it, just going to use the history that's there.
what's this client's address or telephone
Mm,
number? Oh, well, you were
yeah,
looking at that in Engager or in Carbon or in your practice management tool of choice 4 weeks ago. I recall that, and here's the information instead of you digging in and stuff.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, there's some very cool stuff. I mean, in theory, what you've just done here, if you're doing your emails in Engager, for example,
Mm, mm, mm.
we no longer need to build an AI tool in Engager to help you respond to emails because it's built for us.
And and we don't have it yet, but at what point do we get to decide? I mean, we'll get to agents and something else, but what point do we get to decide like what type of agent's going to be used, right?
Yeah.
And what to stop us at some point building a Engager agent? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, someone goes out there, they teach it all for you, and someone like the Engager community is so like they've got so many people in there who would be willing to do that, right? And willing to work on it. That to me, and like I'm sitting there going, well, the agent's been saying for a long time they're not going to jump the gun at this. They're going to wait and see. And feels like they might not need to do anything other than just be, chat GPT friendly.
Yeah, like you've got a choice right now. Engager, free agent, whoever can spend the next 2 years trying to build AI tools, or use ChatGPT Atlas browser with your Teams package or higher. So you've got AI built in already, helping you answer your emails and stuff, while we focus on getting on other things that ChatGPT can't do for you.
Yeah, because HubSpot here has a AI assistant at the top there. I've never used it once, not even touched it. But why would I? It's a siloed experience for the data just in HubSpot. And honestly, it could probably get me such powerful stuff and everything, blah, blah, blah. Like it could do. Or as I already do, I connect my chat GPT to HubSpot, but then it can see everything else. Like it can, it's got so much more capability. Like, so why would I ever click this little assistant in the top here? Like, why? Like, why would I?
Sherlocking things like Jax, QuickBooks, Intuit Assist and stuff, like they can't keep up with people like ChatGPT, surely.
It's a good question. I still think Jax and ChatGPT, Intuit Assist and Sage Copilot have a place. I still see that, but I think that their functionality will be limited to their siloed as they already are, and I think they just need to hone that. Right, they need to make that space absolutely their own, and that's what they need to go for, so that you don't just click the Ask ChatGPT in the corner, right?
So, because you can ask Sage, QuickBooks, or Jax Zero, review, like Sif Analytics can do this, review these accounts and suggest conversation points and stuff.
Yeah.
Why would I do that now when I can go ChatGPT, review the accounts you can see on the screen, consider feedback conversation points, and reference to HMRC to see if there's any tax savings we can recommend to our client here. Because Zero, Jackson, QuickBooks, and Sage haven't got HMRC to call upon. ChatGPT does.
Yeah. And you can put your own documents in there now, right? With the Teams build, you're saying like, here's how we deal with this. Here's the contact we need if there's an R&D query or something. So you can put that contextual elements into it. I feel like, I mean, this is less than beta at this point, right? But I do feel like we need more control over what our ChatGPT is going to set. And they've already done it for ages, right? So I can see that coming. Yeah. Right.
I mean, this is literally day 4, and we're already. I mean, in theory, it's there already. Like, I've got some traveling to organise soon. Like different, simple, easy stuff up and down the UK.
Yeah.
Like, I've never done it before, so I'm going to now try it in the browser. Just say, I need to go to London. I prefer to travel and book through LNER because I get my cash back. I prefer to travel at these times. I want to travel in first class. Go and find me a hotel around this area as well. And I'm curious to see what it does and how it comes back.
100%. Yeah. And that's agent mode, right? So let's talk about agent mode, because I think while you talk about it, I'm just going to let it go and do something. And this is the one I showed live last time. It's just the easiest one to do. So if I just say add the bank charges to my bank account, we'll see how it goes. Like, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but let's let it go. But what have you played around with Agent so far, and what would you explain it to someone who doesn't quite know how it works?
Agent mode is basically you telling a junior team member to go away and do something with relatively little instruction, and then go away and work it out for themselves. So you've just turned around to this staff member. I always treat agents as my staff members. That's the psychology in my head how it works, right? You've turned around to it, go to your bank, basically add bank charges to my bank account. And it's working out the rest for it. You've not had to go through, right? Go into QuickBooks and go here. It's like, it's currently working it all out. It's telling you what it's thinking. It's more than a junior staff member would normally tell, because it's just normally a blank face. There's no commentary of what they're thinking and how they're doing it. So you can soon work out where it's going wrong if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I've dabbled. So I use agent mode in the ChatGPT app a lot.
Yes.
Basically, what I do is I've got my Claude note and my Claude pin to record all the meetings and calls I'm on with clients. Those get transcribed and stuff. But any recordings that I do on other devices and then put into Claude to transcribe and transcript, Claude can't rewrite the title. It just has the file name as the title. So once a week, I normally go into ChatGPT, turn on agent mode, tell it I want it to log into Claude and review and rename any notes ending with a certain thing at the end, and it will go and do that. But it has to then think about it. I then have to click in the browser, log in for it, and whereas this, it can memorize your password details, so actually you can just go in and do it all for you. So that's going to be one of the test things that I know how it was good. It saved me some time, but I wonder how much better it's going to be in the browser. I've not done that yet. That's on my list for this weekend. I have been into Engager and told the agent mode to go into a client and connect them to Xero. And it's done it. No problems at all. There's so many things this could potentially do. I'm going to keep using shopping as an example of what agent would be really good for. I personally don't see it. Maybe if you're used to having a personal shopper who goes out and puts together 3 or 4 items that might tick your requirements for you to then view and then for them to go and buy, maybe your mindset's right. But normally I'm the guy that's going through Amazon scrolling, not really sure what I want, but I know I need like a new power bank or something like that. And I'll scroll through and I'll look at the pros and cons. Having said that, when I buy a new iPhone or an iPad or something, I could probably tell it just to go to the Apple website and order me a new iPad, and I want this one, because I already know before. I don't need to browse and decide what I want there. I've committed to what I want already. So, if you know you want to go on holiday in Spain, you want to stay at a specific hotel and a specific dates, it can probably go and do that really easily. Or it will come back to you, or if you don't know the specifics, it could come back to you with 3 or 4 different hotels that it recommends based on feedback and stuff, which I suppose it's like a travel agent, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
I mean, the limit with agent is your imagination.
There are other limits.
Well, there are other limits, but the biggest limit is normally your own imagination of how you can make this work.
What you're saying is spot on, but yes, absolutely.
It's like Zapier. Zapier, in theory, is an incredible tool. The biggest limitation is working out in your head what you want to tell it to do, and if it can do it.
Yeah.
Like some people use Zapier to such great effect. Like Ash over at Engager, he is incredible at Zapier.
Yeah.
Whereas I sit there going, I've got a 2 or 3 step process, and that is about the limit. And even that's probably a recommended process that I've not had to put any thought into. And I've gone, oh, it could do that. Oh, actually, a bit like the suggestions at the bottom of this GPT window of, you could ask me to do this. So, actually, yes, that's a good idea. You can go and do that, please. So I think our own creativity and our own imaginations are going to be the biggest limitation on functions like this. But that'll get better. So when there's 6 years between me and my younger brother, right?
Yeah.
When I went through primary school and secondary school, as I was leaving primary school, they got their first computer room, a room full of computers. And that was the first experience I had of computers. Went into secondary school, they had a room of computers, and you had 1 or 2 hours a week in that classroom. And I left secondary school. Okay, I could use Word, I could use Excel. I think Access I used a couple of times. My brother left secondary school 6 years after me. He could program the bloody computer. He could strip the computer down and rebuild the bloody thing. But we didn't grow up with it early enough. Imagine what the kids of today are going to be able to do with this.
That's the scary.
They're learning from day one to think how to use tools like this. Whereas we're in our 30s going, oh God. Yeah, I literally feel like the old man trying to adapt to using contactless and PIN card processes rather than paying cash right now when it comes to this type of stuff.
100%. But I think the thing that even in our opportunity though is we can just go and use YouTube and all those other resources, right? Like that's where I've seen it. And speaking of like YouTube, the one criticism I've seen, because I've been, we get to call him now friend of the show, can't believe it. But Jason Stats, he's obviously, as you can imagine, straight on this, and he's put a few things. And I'm talking to, because I'm actually catching up with him on Monday, and
all right, name drop.
Mad in it, right? But I generally cannot believe that. Going through his comments of his latest video, and these are prominent people in the accounting industry, right, who've done like videos like we have, and all this, that, and the other. They're coming at, I was going to do a video on this topic as well, but I was just frustrated. It was just so slow. And I'm like, so slow. Sorry, this is technology that is 100 times faster than it ever was on Monday. Because on Monday, this was not possible, like easily, right? I know there was those other solutions you mentioned before, right? Is it Comet and those other ones?
Complexity, but they weren't very good, and none of them were very clear on what was and wasn't secure.
And exactly, we were always a bit tepid about it, all right?
Yeah.
But Tuesday this came out, and Tuesday we are doing things that was not possible before. Like, I know Agent Mode was there, but Agent Mode always had that frustration of you had to sign it in, and then you had to do this, and there was a lot more hoops for you to go through. This one, well, we can get it signed in. That's easy because it's the browser, and we can give it the passwords. And my pro tip to anyone out there: create new users that are agent. We call them Johns in our industry. In ours, we've got a John for everything now, and that is the agent that goes in. So lock it down, keep everything else, but I'm happy to give them that one. Most of it's only read-only access that they'll have, and then I can play and try this out and figure this out. Because I'm one of those practices who are looking for this as the future. Like I'm going through stages at the moment with my practice and with other projects we've got and everything else where profitability just isn't quite there. Like it's not quite working. And I know you guys have absolutely embraced and you've made it a culture, and you've made it work in terms of outsourcing, but we've just not been able to do that, right? Like, and it's down to me, right? I'm the problem. But I see this as my version of outsourcing. This is how I'm going to get over that hurdle, right? And I see this as the way of actually finding ways to bring that capacity back to us that we need, that we're struggling at the moment, and all this and the other. So I can't wait for this to happen. And I know people are sat there going, yeah, I know, but it's slow, and well, it's not that accurate, and all this and that. And I get it, 100%. Like every one of those criticism is 100% right. But then I just build a team that can deal with that, right? Like if I can build a team that can do, because one thing that it may be slow and it may be inaccurate, but it's consistent. And
Yep.
isn't consistency like the most important thing in when it comes to reviewing and sorting out accounts?
And don't we just change our routines and habits and processes so I've got Fixer AI.
Yes.
If an email comes in right now, it's not going to have drafted the response straight away. Within 10 to 20 seconds of the email landing, yes, it will have worked out, is this a marketing crap and stuff, and hidden it from me. But if I come out of a meeting, any emails I've had in that time are now drafted for responses. But you could argue, well, it took it up to an hour to do all of that. It's like, which I wasn't sat waiting for it. It happened in the background while I was busy
and doing other chargeable work.
Yeah. Like, I think people are like, oh, I want it instant. It's like, why? If it's this junior accountant that you're thinking of, or junior bookkeeper, they wouldn't do it instantly. No. It would take them time to do it. So if it's taking time to do the low profit work, then what's the problem? Because it means that someone you're paying a lot more money to isn't doing low profit work.
Yeah, exactly. And you can, you can bring people in who can look after this for you. Like, that's going to be a job for someone later down the line, isn't it? Just to make sure that the AI agents are doing what they need to do and everything else. But it doesn't mean that's their only job. That's part of their job, right? And there is a maintenance to that, and they'll be doing that. But at the same time, they're going to be skilled people who can answer the questions that clients have got and move things along. And like, that's why, I mean, we've all seen those pictures, haven't we, of the multiple screens and everything else of the stockbrokers and stuff like that. Like, that's how I'm seeing, botfix of the world going forward. Is that, like, generally the Apple Vision Pro's finally got a use for
in at the back of the head. I'll be all right.
You'll be in. But the Apple Vision Pro, I've been using it a lot more lately. They've had a new head strap for it, and actually it's fine. It's solved the biggest issue, right? Comfort is now, it's way better than it has before. I can see that, like, that could be an actual viable future where you've got multiple of those agents up and they're all kind of doing their little thing, and it's that one person to oversee it and look after it and everything else. Like, it won't be for every practice out there, but as I've just said, outsourcing is not for every practice, right? And that's fine. Like, we don't have to be exactly the same, but at least then there's an option for us, and there is a way for us to kind of to build it there. And I feel like that's so exciting. And we've just seen it on screen. Like, it was one or two prompts. We need work on, and I don't know if it's me not understanding it properly, but I don't seem to be able to pick what agent I want it to do, because now we've got the opportunity to build those agents with the what ifs and all that sort of stuff. We've got all that functionality now.
Yeah, when you click agent mode, it doesn't give you a drop down of which ones you want to use. Like,
and maybe I'm missing something. Maybe that's a me problem, and I've not like activated it or something. Like, there's a learning curve for it, maybe, right? But I would love that to be the case, because then we could start building agents for these jobs, right? For like going into QuickBooks and clearing it, or whatever that agent task needs to be. And the fact it can do that. Yes, it's slow. Yes, it's sluggish. Yes, it's all the buts at the moment. But the fact it can actually do that is like mind blowing, right?
Yeah, I mean, the bit that really excites me now is we already know ChatGPT, OpenAI are looking at hardware.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You've already got a bloody brilliant ChatGPT app. Okay. Really powerful.
Yes.
You've now got a powerful browser. What happens when they launch a powerful email and calendar management system? What happens when they launch a powerful note-taking system? Like, at the moment, most note-taking systems are being powered by ChatGPT. So actually, it's learning.
Yeah.
It's got so much potential there. And I'm like that. I'm going, God, imagine the hardware if they're going to deliver this, and this is how good this is in 4 days of being delivered. Like, there's a lot, like Apple has done to so many solutions where they've gone, that's cute. Here's what we're doing. And those solutions just disappear into the, like, if you looked at YouTube 2 years ago, no one was recommending Apple Notes. It was all Notability, good notes. stuff like that. Now, more and more are saying, why are you wasting your money? Just use Apple Notes.
And that's despite Siri being terrible.
Yeah. Just imagine what these guys could do.
100%. So, final question, because I know we're at time here, but
yeah,
what use cases are you using at this moment in time? And I'm happy to go first for mine. Mine is we are, and I've not figured out how to schedule this yet. And again, I think this is a me problem. I've got to figure this out. But that on that computer behind me, it triages our HubSpot tickets for us. I just go in and I just set the rule, and it just and I just remember to go in. We were seeing it was like an hour and a half a day we were using like that, and it was split between the team and all this, that, and the other. But again, with ChatGPT, we're able to get those tickets, and it was telling us it was around about an hour and a half sort of thing that it was taking on that. That's now doing it for us. Now, yeah, again, it's not doing it right every single time, but it's gone to someone, and that person that it's gone to a human. That human's gone, oh no, that should go there now, and then we're trying to teach it as we go along. I'm gonna say I think they need to improve on the learning aspects of the agents at the moment. I think that I never saw that as a flaw before, but that's why that back end of the agent bit, I'm so excited. I've been playing around with that lots. Like, if it does this, then do that and that and that.
Yeah.
I've not connected the dots to how to make that agent that I'm building like appear here yet. I've not figured that bit out. But the fact we have that to go in there, and like you said, now we can put a handbook of we would normally do this. This is how we would deal with it. I feel like that's that. So, like triaging tickets, chef's kiss. It can just go through there, put it through, and it will just distribute those tickets out so that they're the right people. What about you? Have you had any use case yet that's kind of...
So my main use case for last week, because I've been away, is just using it as a browser.
Yes.
Can we do everything I wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
Even today, like this has been a test. Can it run StreamYard?
Yeah.
Yes, it can. One of the things we do a lot of, and it's the only time I use Chrome, is an Engager when we're doing testing of our new features and stuff, or we're bug hunting something that's causing an issue. We always go into Chrome and we use their developer tools, the console and stuff, because Safari's is terrible.
Yeah.
Because this is on Chromium, it does a bloody good job. So I've already been testing, like, I'm getting an error, right? Let's have a look at the developer tools, and so I can do some screenshots and export those off to Peter to fix. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff. So I'm just trying to use it in my day-to-day.
So you're using the browser, right? Yeah.
Yeah. This is my default browser for everything now on my devices that I can use it on. I'm using it for day-to-day, constant, just as I was Safari before this. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm like, literally, this conversation today has made me go, I wonder how much easier this Plord renaming titles of recordings on the Plord app is going to be, because I can just do it in the browser now instead of a different app. I'm watching videos, I'm talking to people, I'm working out use cases. I'm just thinking in the back of my head of everything I'm doing. It's like, could I get this to do this? Like, could I get ChatGPT to do this? And I'm just constantly asking myself that question at the moment. You know, like, we're 4 days in, so it's only going to get better and more exciting from here.
Definitely. Well, that was it. That was our first ever episode of Ask the Accountant AI Watch series. We've got so much to talk about, right?
Yeah, we'll keep doing these, and this is going to be an ad hoc series based on releases, updates, use cases, insights, etc., as and when they come in. So it's not going to be a regular weekly thing or anything. It will just be us jumping around the mics when we've got a topic we want to discuss. Definitely,
100%. And speaking of weekly, well, we've got an Ask the Accountant weekly podcast that goes live each and every morning at 8:30 a.m. What are you talking about this week? I'm not here next week, or I say next week in 2 days' time, whatever it is. But what's your? Have you got a plan of action for that one?
I'm talking to Tim from Guernsey, so I just love catching up with Tim. So that'll be a good chat. We'll talk all things Lucre Awards and bookkeeping conference, because that's coming up. I'm excited to get his insight on if he's played with Atlas, because he's a Mac user himself. So
good point.
He's used Atlas. I'm curious because in so many ways, Tim and the team in Guernsey at TCS are so tech forwards that I'm curious as to how they're adopting AI technology. So I want to have that conversation with him.
They're all Mac users, and there's not many practices out there that have exclusive Mac users, right?
No, there's not at all. Like even we're not. Like my whole leadership team are Mac users.
Yeah, but exactly, yeah. The rest
of the team are Windows purely because there's sometimes you need softwares and stuff that don't run on Macs.
That and preference, right? A lot of them, that's all they've ever known.
Exactly. Yeah, lots of preference there. But yeah, so no, I'm looking forward to that. So tune in at 8:30 every Monday, not just next Monday, just because Aaron's not there even. Tune in at 8:30 on every Monday to join me and Aaron, and we talk about all things industry and tech. Obviously, it's a good job we didn't talk about this because we filled an hour and we could probably keep going for quite a long time.
We might have had a few angry feedback. If we hadn't spent a whole hour on it.
I mean, we should have done a warning at the start, shouldn't we? Say, if you don't like us talking about the AI, this is not the video for you. So if you've just sat here for an hour and I've just warned you now, I do apologise.
Hopefully they figured it out by now.
Hopefully, the title, the snazzy new logo, that's going to get revamped next week.
Yeah. Last you'll see of that logo, I think. First and last. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening, watching, all that sort of stuff. Don't forget to use that feedback form as well if there's any questions you want to ask. There is actually a watch series one you can drop down and there. That reminds me, Johann, I will tell you now why it's on live to everyone. We actually have questions for the main show that have been left unanswered. So if you don't get around to it next week, we'll promise you the week after we will make sure it's there. Well, thanks everyone. This has been really good fun. Great idea, Johann, and I don't think it was poorly executed.
I think this was very well executed. I think we've done very well here. I think Lizzie should be proud of our work on a weekend here.
Great idea and actually well executed. That's what we like to see. All right, everyone. Speak to you all soon, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
See you in a bit.
Bye.